run and get something real quick.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming out and viewing the real short box. My name is Donald. Kevin, I'm sorry, unfortunately, I already clicked go live, so we're going live, buddy boy. So
we have no choice, right?
You have no choice. So I'm going to step aside here and post the link for everybody that wants to check us out. Meanwhile, Kevin and Darren will take it from here, these guys here, and we're going to be discussing a lot of fun things. So stick with us.
All right.
Hey, Kevin. So Jared will also be joining us shortly. One of the wonderful things with our new Skype eCam technology here. So Kevin, it's pretty interesting. I can't wait. We're going to do one of the classic real short box, as you would call it, the superhero SmackDowns. So we'll get to that, of course, shortly. But Kevin, I'm fascinated by your hat choice.
The fedora again?
Well, I think the viewers don't understand. It's
Fedora the Explorer, I believe, is what we call him now.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yes, that's the new movie that has Eva Longoria with like some of that mom weight, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
I see.
Thick.
Well.
But yeah, so I'm just kind of sitting here looking at the fedora. A lot of people don't know, Kevin, when you say the fedora again, it's not again. It's something that you wear kind of regularly. Hey, Jared here.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
We can hear you, buddy.
Hallelujah.
Yay.
Hallelujah, brother.
That's right. So we're talking about Kevin's hat. A lot of our viewing audience don't know that's your go-to choice for hats.
It has for almost a decade now. It's been my go-to. I have about 6 fedoras in my collection.
And maybe in the future you'll throw on the black leather jacket, and that just would complete it all. Because that's how I remember you. I remember you with the black leather jacket and the fedora.
That's true. That's a good point. You know, it is kind of too hot for all that, but yes, later this year I'll put on the black leather jacket with one of the fedoras.
And I remember you always with the martini in your hand and a switchblade in the other hand, just knifing people at will.
Was that when I was singing that song, You're Gonna Be a Jet for Life or something like that?
I don't know. You were just angry.
No, that
Sharks. Talk about jets and sharks or something like that.
No, that would be your hat, Jared, which is very 1930s Italian mafia.
That's true. That's true. Or it's the Peaky fucking Blinders, and I've got little razor blades in here.
Oh,
that's right. And you're one of those guys that would give people the Chelsea smile in the back alley.
Yeah.
So guys, there is a couple businesses that have unfortunately, sadly, gone under. We're not going to get to the one Donald wants to discuss yet. We'll wait for him to return. But J.C. Penney declaring bankruptcy. That is terrible.
And they're saying it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt shopping malls all over the world because apparently J.C. Penney's rent out some of the most space in the malls.
So yeah, they have a lot of real estate they take up.
Yeah, they're definitely in that loop with Simon Mall Group, which anybody who goes to any major shopping mall, basically it's owned by Simon Mall Group in one way or another.
Right.
So when you see all that, so that's unfortunate. JCPenney's, of course, has some of the finest slogan T-shirts and random print T-shirts you'll ever see, including I got a T-shirt there to match my Spider-Man 100 comic with a Spider-Man 100 T-shirt.
Oh wow.
Yes, I know.
Oh my goodness, 18 cents a share. Wow.
Well,
For JCPenney?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I sold all mine. I'm rich. Right for the crash.
So basically, you shorted the stock.
Yeah.
You were smart.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys, about that. I posted the link, everyone. Jared, if you want to post to the Palooka site, that would be great. Also, if one of you can post to the Real Short Box page on Facebook, that would be awesome as well.
Right.
Also, the picture it captured, I apologize. It's half of Darren's face. I'm smiling, and it's Kevin's butt.
Ha!
You're kidding, right?
No, not kidding.
All right, so I'm copying, and I'm going to go ahead and post this. Donald, while we're waiting, please give us your feelings about the soup plantation.
Oh my God, guys! I'm literally devastated by the news that they're not going to be reopening.
It's sad.
I mean,
yeah.
I understand that the buffet style is going to have to change the way they do things. I get that. Like some of the places, if you know, like Golden Corral or something, they would have a guy in a dumb chef's hat who obviously wasn't a chef slicing your roast beef for you or your turkey and handing it to you on a plate. I get that.
Wait, that guy wasn't a chef? He had the hat.
No, he wasn't a chef. Sorry about that. But
you think though they could create more jobs by having like I went to I don't know if they have them over there. We went to a Yo Bell, which is like a Pinkberry frozen yogurt place that just reopened, and we had to go in there. You had to wear masks. You had to use sanitizer. But you got your yogurt, and then instead of you doing the toppings, they did them for you.
Right, that's what I was thinking. You would just
hire somebody to serve it.
Right, you would just have the roast beef guy. You would have to change it to where the islands are like all in a row, so it would cause a little bit of construction change or something. And you would go down the line cafeteria style. You would just tell them what you want. They would put it on a plate, and then you would sit back down. If you wanted more, you went back up and asked them for whatever, and then they hopefully would not fat shame you because you've had 17 helpings of mac and cheese.
It's good.
That's the goal anyway. So I get that. So soup I guess is a little different, but I don't see it. You just get a new cup, or you use a different bowl, like a plastic bowl. If you want it takeout, they give it to you takeout. I just think maybe buffet style soup is not the next wave of the future that I had hoped it would be. Sadly,
look. I lost interest in buffets. Actually, my body and my health lost interest in buffets a few years back. But I'm thinking about the children.
Right.
You remember what it was like being 10 years old, going to the Shoney's breakfast bar and just loading up, man, on eggs and bacon and sausage and God knows what else? I mean,
well, I remember the first time I heard of a buffet, I was like, wait, so you can just take whatever? And it was the one time your parents didn't fully monitor you.
Yes.
So you could.
Oh man, so much chocolate pudding.
Mashed potatoes? Shut up, Mom. Yeah.
So much chocolate pudding. Hey guys, real quick, I just want to give a shout out. Hi Janet. Hi Maria. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to close out Janet. I'm going to put Maria up here. I'm going to give her a big kiss. Hang on one sec.
I was going to say hello to God, but he can read my thoughts anyway.
There we go.
Sure.
So,
what about Krishna?
Krishna. I mean, I don't have a relationship with Krishna. Kevin, why don't you say hello to Krishna?
Well, Jared does. Jared has a relationship with Krishna.
Whoa. I am
don't change the subject, Kevin.
I'm a dedicated Branch Davidian. We all know that.
Had no idea.
You know, you do have a look of a Branch Davidian. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I feel like we're crossing into controversial territory here. Donald, would you mind sharing what your hat stands for those who may not know?
This is the Isotopes. This is New Mexico's baseball team, minor league baseball team. They used to be the minor league for the Dodgers, and now they're the minor league team for the Colorado Rockies.
Isn't that the baseball team in The Simpsons, too? The Springfield Isotopes?
I believe you're correct, yeah, which is why they did a big survey of what this team should be named.
Uh-huh.
And that's the one everybody voted for. So Isotopes won, and that's how this was created.
I cheer for Shelbyville anyway. So we got
would.
We have some exciting stuff that we're talking about tonight, folks. Very exciting things, all right? So the thing is we are doing another Ask Me Anything section, obviously, meaning ask us anything you want. Probably best to keep it in the realm of comic books as our expertise, though vast. You're going to get your best answers with comic book-related questions. Movies, TV, the actual books themselves. Yes, we still read comic books. I know this is unusual to hear. And also, too, we're going to be talking about a superhero SmackDown of epic proportions. It's going to be Team X-Men, who we'll define in a second which X-Men, as there are like 30 million of them, versus the Doom Patrol. So we are going to have a fight, a theoretical fight of massive proportion. And these guys are maybe going to show off different hats throughout the evening. I, of course, comb my hair. So I will not be showing off any hats to you, but I do have a birthday sombrero from Chevy's restaurant, which hopefully also does not go under because I love the flautas.
Real men wear hats.
Yeah. And eat at Chevy's.
Why?
I don't know why they would do that. Okay, so we have a
endless
bunch of messages popping up here. Janet says, yay. I can't wait to hear your X-Men thoughts. Janet, you will get plenty of those and more.
Yes.
Also, it looks like Sammy. She says, hi, Maria. So, okay, Sammy, I guess we're chopped liver over here. There's 4 of us, but hi, Maria, sure.
Well, you're not a lady, are you?
She does. Oh, what? You talking to Sammy? That's an insult. She should slap your face.
No, I'm talking to you.
Well, how am I supposed to know you're talking to me? Jeez. Okay, she says, what up, nerds? What's up, dorks? I don't know. X-Men, yeah. Jean Grey gonna whoop all the butts.
Dorks or nerds?
Jean Grey might whoop all the butts, is what Sammy thinks. I don't know how to pronounce your name, your online name. It looks like it says Petite Poussy Maricine. I don't know.
Sounds French, doesn't it?
Sounds like something I'd say when I'm drunk.
Sounds deep.
I want some poutine Maricine. It sounds delicious. Put some gravy on it and some cheese curds. Thank you. The little bubbles forming in the air. Hello, liver. Yes, hello, liver. Is what Sammy says. Okay, so quick. So rest in peace, Soup Plantation. We are going to miss you greatly. Your chili was bomb. Your matzo ball chicken soup was amazing. Pretty much all your soups were delightful. My friend Anea used to work for Soup Plantation, so she'd drop me off soups occasionally, and it was delicious, and I loved it, and I really appreciated it. So Anea, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, but if you ever are, thank you for the soups. And Soup Plantation, thank you for the memories and making me feel better when I was sick and down. Very much. So rest in peace, everybody there. That apparently they all died when the store closed.
Oh, come on.
What? I assume that's how it goes. When a store closes, everybody dies. Isn't that how that works?
Yeah,
maybe spiritually, not physically.
The manager takes people out back and he just says, "Get on your knees."
Right.
And puts them out of their misery.
Yes, that's what I thought happened. Absolutely.
Donald, I just think, Donald, you grossly overestimated the success of the to-go soup market.
I know I did. Good thing I didn't invest in the stock.
By the way, stocks are jumping, baby.
I don't like that idea. Not yet. I haven't invested yet, Darren. They need to slow the F down. Is what they need to do.
Oh, okay.
Enrique is joining us soon. Donald, he should be on by now.
Oh, from our Disneyland buddy Enrique? That one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Remember, I have more than one Enrique friend. I have multiple.
Well, I know. We do, especially Enrique from who's now.
I have more than you. I collect them.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have a CGC Enrique 9.8? Yeah.
No, but as of today, I have a CBCS 9.6 Booster Gold #1.
Oh, really?
Hey, what?
Just came in the mail.
How happy are you, sir? How's
it
your
was a
heart
very sweet $50 purchase, let me tell you.
What now? What book does he make his first appearance in?
Booster Gold #1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Janet says you need Gambit to give you a French lesson. Maybe in the verbiage, the language of French, but not in the tongue. This guy over here, right over here, he could use a Gambit French lesson, I think, like with the tongue.
Are you talking about Jared?
Yeah, sure, I'm talking about Jared.
What are you talking about me? Oh, how dare you, sir? How dare you? Shame on you.
Yeah.
The French language should be used for appropriate reasons.
That I believe that is very appropriate.
And as soon as you find one appropriate reason, Kevin, please share it with the crowd.
Okay.
All right. Hang on one sec. I'm sorry. I'm just messaging a few people that we are live, so they'll maybe come check us out.
That's okay.
Maybe they will.
We've only covered JCPenney and Soup Plantation up to this point.
Oh, by the way, has everybody watched that new episode of the Blue Beetle Ted Cord Returns, the musical? It's delightful.
Yeah, did.
I did. I saw the essential parts of the episode, Donald.
That's the cockles of my heart.
And the essential being Jason dancing and singing with Amish, correct?
That's the cherry on top, baby.
Yes.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah.
How you feel about Black Widow being pushed back 6 months to early November? Are you able to wait 6 more months to see Scarlett Johansson in her individual full glory?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't that excited about it until like right before.
That trailer looked cool. That trailer looked cool.
That's why the trailer sold me. But so honestly, waiting longer doesn't hurt me. It'll just make me actually probably want to see it a little more.
And by the way, I was telling Donald this like off video, actually a few weeks ago. I swear they better not kill Taskmaster. He still better be alive when it's all said and done. He needs to be around for a couple more movies.
They have a real bad habit of killing all the villains and things, and I don't understand why. It's like in Batman movies, it's like almost every time a villain dies, and I'm like, stop it! Just put him in Arkham, dummies.
Oh, your boy Scarecrow got to live through the Nolan trilogy at least.
Oh, what a piece of shit! He should have done.
But also, too, like, I mean, I call it the Star Trek syndrome. And you got to watch out, because X-Men started to get guilty of the Star Trek syndrome, where, like, nobody was dying.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, you have a huge, massive cast.
You mean besides Spock or Kirk, depending on which incarnation, which was huge? Like...
Yeah, like, the reason I love Star Trek 3 is because people die.
Didn't Khan die in 2?
What's that?
Didn't Khan die in 2?
No, Khan died in 2, and so did Spock.
Okay, so your argument is that not enough people
were dying. And then in part 3, Kirk's son died.
What I'm saying is, it's like, in 3, yeah, that's why it was cool, but then it's just like, nobody dies, and, like, bad guys die. That's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No, not always.
Oh, all right.
I mean, there's a rehabilitative process. If everybody you don't like dies, it's...
I mean, even in the first X-Men movie, I mean, they killed Toad. You know, it killed maybe Sabretooth. I can't even remember.
And that was the worst way to kill Toad, too. It was so stupid.
Well, do you guys know what happens when a Toad touches electricity?
What
happens?
The same thing that happens at everything else.
So dumb. Why?
Yeah. So, I don't know. So, the thing is that I just live by the rule. If it's not, it's got to be put together like a Steven Seagal movie where everybody just dies, not named Steven Seagal, and then I'm happy.
Right.
Oh yeah, like Mark for Death. Oh my goodness, a lot of people died in that movie.
Dude, there were 2 screw faces in that, Kevin.
Well, that's part of the plot twist, man. Don't give away the plot twist.
Oh yeah, I know. It came out in 1989, but okay, I won't blow the plot twist for you.
Next, you're gonna ruin Bloodsport for me. Jesus, don't tell me who wins the Kumite.
Spoilers.
I'm going to go ahead and spoil all the great songs that were in that movie.
Speaking of which, we have Janet says she's so sad to see that Black Widow. You didn't get to see it right away. We agree, Janet. Very disappointing. Derek Casper. Anybody know Derek?
I do. Derek Casper went to college with me. He's a very talented tech person. Derek, hello. It's been too long. Thank you for coming in.
Derek, is he a fellow Penguin of Youngstown State?
He is.
We got a couple. Oh, wow. We got a couple messages from him. He says, "I have to get this X-Men ringtone back on my phone." I hope you're talking about the '90s animated version ringtone, Derek, because that's amazing.
Hey, you remember that pilot episode had a cool little ring to it too? That one episode of X-Men, Pride of the X-Men.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that well enough. All I remember is at one point, Professor Xavier...
The Australian accent of Wolverine.
At one point, Professor Xavier moved his legs, and I called bullshit. I just threw my hands up in the air, and I went, I can't watch this. And I was done.
You think the animator would be like, oh, wait, that's less I have to animate.
Right. Janet says, Derek, is it a ringtone from the animated series or the one from the movies? So that's what we all want to know. And then Derek finally responds, and he says, animated. And I apologize in advance, guys. Sometimes we don't get these messages right away, and it's not because of a delay. It's just because we're talking, or I'm not paying attention, which happens a lot. So I'll try to get on this and keep on this as much as possible.
And we have to go easy because despite seeing 4 talking heads on the screen here, Donald is the only person that can see the incoming messages.
Yeah, so if I interrupt, it's not because I'm trying to be rude with you guys, of course. It's just because I want to get these messages taken care of. So,
all right, are we ready to establish our SmackDown teams for the audience so they know exactly what we're dealing with?
Let me see what I got here. Let me pull up and see if I got the pictures. Give me 1 sec.
All right.
By the way, a New Mutants movie for the 4th time has been moved to, see if it works out, August 28th now, if I'm looking at this correctly.
They should just put it out.
Did you guys see
on
that?
Disney Plus.
You tagged us, Donald. The picture with
yeah.
It's got it's got the like cast getting back together like they've been doing with like Goonies, and they just did the Back to the Future.
Oh yeah,
it was like,
I saw that.
New Mutants cast get back together to talk about the movie as like it still hadn't gotten made yet or something like that. They're all old and brilliant.
Dude, but Chunk is like no longer fat. He's like fit. So
That's what somebody said. They're like, yeah, why is Chunk the fittest of all of the remaining Goonies right now?
Hey, what does Data look like? Is he still alive and kicking?
Oh yeah, he looks great.
He looks like a grown-up version of himself. Of like,
oh, outstanding. Dude, short round. I'm sorry, short round's a great character in Indiana Jones too. I don't care what anyone thinks.
He's great.
He's great.
They asked him which one he preferred, and he couldn't say.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah, if you guys can give me one moment, I just got to pull up. Can't find that picture, so I'm going to re-save it here. So give me one moment for that.
We'll give you some waiting music here with Indiana Jones Part 2. Oh,
Humpty High.
Humpty High. We can't sing that long, guys. You're going to kill everybody.
Yes. I'm like I don't care what anyone thinks. The Donkey Kong mine car racing scene is heavily inspired by Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I don't care what anyone thinks. And
in Disneyland?
No, in Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, that I don't know.
I that's my opinion. By the way, guys, got one of these foreign royalty checks in today. These things are fun. Just so you know, you remember as we are trying to build our real short box brand here. Films that I have been in are currently very popular in Germany, Portugal, and Spain.
Nice.
Portugal is really good.
So Western Europe, watch out. Here we come.
Now, is that for the Indiana Jones movie or the Iron Man movie?
It's for Indiana Jones, Night and Day, and Iron Man, sir.
Nice. And is that check sufficient enough to...
Those all Paramount films, right?
No. Night and Day is actually Fox.
Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I get you.
Night and Day is Fox.
It's all Disney, you guys. Or it will be. It will be.
No, it's like, hey, but we'll hold out because, Lionsgate. Yay.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up, in case everybody doesn't know, I'm going to pull up the X-Men first, and we can go a little bit about them. I apologize about the size of the image, guys. It's a little small, so bear with me here. They're tiny.
Hey, it's how you use the picture.
I'm going to put it right next to Kevin's head. So, Kevin, look to your left. There you go. Yes. They're right there in front of your face.
Look at them. All 5 of the originals.
the love it was in response to the... Oh, okay. Shabazz just saw Goonies for the first time. My God, Shabazz. That's what Jan
35 years late?
What's wrong with you, dude? The Goonies is amazing.
35 years? It took him to watch that movie?
So I don't see the picture. Is the X-Men picture up right now, Donald?
Yeah, you should see it in the live stream on YouTube if you're looking at that.
No.
Okay. But it's up by Kevin. The original team, Kevin, if you want to go over it real quick.
Yeah, the original 5 members of the X-Men, going back to when they debuted in 1963, are Cyclops, Jean Grey, but she was known as Marvel Girl, Iceman, who kind of looked like a snowman type of thing back when they drew him originally, Beast, without the fur, without the cute little blue fur.
Wait, and then, Kevin, who did you say? Who did you just say?
Before that, Beast, without the blue fur.
My favorite X-Men! Yeah! He gets the favorite X-Men award.
Hank McCoy's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's the best.
Especially was played by Frazier in that movie, in the X-Men movie.
What a casting choice, guys. What a casting choice.
Absolutely.
Gave me a stiffy.
And then, last but not least, Angel. But only with the angelic white fluffy wings. This is before Apocalypse had tormented and corrupted him.
Are you talking about Warring Worthington III?
That's right, Warring Worthington III.
So,
of course, Iceman, I forgot to say his name. Iceman's real name is Bobby Drake.
Of course.
Right. And they're a cool team, all led by Professor Xavier, who's wheelchair bound. So let me show a quick picture of Professor Xavier, guys. This is my favorite. Hang on one second here. Because I honestly had so much trouble finding Professor Xavier in a wheelchair, like a good shot of him. So I ended up ultimately going with this one because it just made me laugh. And it's basically I don't know the character that's pushing him down the stairs, but they're yelling stairs as they push Xavier in his wheelchair down the stairs, and Xavier's falling out of the wheelchair. So
poor guy.
By the way, we got a few comments here. Enrique says, yeah, totally Donkey Kong Country and the Temple of Doom. So Enrique agrees with you, Darren, on that.
I told you we got the smartest audience on the internet for a reason.
Wait, did you guys know I do an amazing animated series, Professor X?
You did? You played it?
Are you ready? No, wait, watch.
Yeah.
Gene, where are you? Gene. Gene.
Hey, yeah. You remember the part X-Men 3 right before he like disintegrated? He had like that weird smile grimace on his face before he got like, evaporated.
Charles!
That's right, Charles.
They had so many and they reused them, but so many of the same screams for every character, which was great. Like Rogue, every time she'd absorb too much of somebody's power, she'd be like, I can't control it.
What did they do?
Professor X's scream that they always use.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor X had a classic scream.
Personally, I hold Professor X in the highest regard, but that moment in Days of Future Past when you get to learn 1970s drug addict Professor X, now that that's priceless stuff to me. I'm sorry. It's priceless.
Okay, guys, so basically covering our entire image of all of us is a picture of the Doom Patrol that I just put up. So, Jarrett, if you can go ahead and break it down for us, we'd appreciate it very much, guys.
So the Doom Patrol, and now we've talked about it before. There's it's a little bit of a controversy of who came first, the X-Men or Doom Patrol, because it was
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
So the team of mutants.
Doom Patrol came out in, what was it, Kevin? It was June of 1963, and then X-Men followed in September of 1963. Yeah.
That's right.
Right, and now, and they were more known as freaks, right? It was like the Chief was getting like free. It wasn't mutants; they were more like almost like carnival sideshow freaks.
Exactly.
So you had the Chief, who was their Professor X, except who was also wheelchair bound. And no, I don't think we're having a cripple fight. Just so you know, we're not going to do that.
Sorry, Darren.
we have Mento, who I believe his powers were mental, but his catchphrase was Mentos the Fresh Maker every time, right? No.
No.
So Mento had mind powers, but only when he's wearing this helmet that like enhances them. So he's like a Jean Grey, but helmet bound. Then we have Negative Man, who can release the negative energy from his body. But when this happens, his human body becomes docile, can't do anything. But the energy can do all sorts of stuff. We have Gar Logan, the original Beast Boy. For some reason, he looked purple back then because I think he was wearing like a mask or something, because everybody else knows him as green. But that Beast Boy can turn into any animal he wants to. We had Elastigirl, who, not to be confused with the Incredibles Elastigirl. I wonder if there was any rights thing with that, by the way. Being DC and Disney. Disney
has a lot of money, so Disney won. Anyway, continue.
Disney always wins. Disney wins. So then Elastigirl can control the molecular structure of her body, kind of shape-shifting, but she usually uses it to grow enormous. And last but not least, Robot Man, who was a real person, and then his brain was put into a robot body after he was in an accident. And the robot body is pretty much indestructible, and he's kind of the muscle of the team.
Oh, sort of like Kane from RoboCop 2.
Exactly.
Great stuff. Good introductions there, Jarrett. Okay, so Kevin, you are the master of the SmackDown in terms of theory. So how does the SmackDown rules work?
The SmackDown rules, basically, we will, amongst each other, give a description of who we think would win between different people. Now, since this is a team, we'll probably match up one person against another person who we think, who makes sense. We'll put Beast Boy against Beast.
Right.
Put,
Just
Negative
exactly
Man
like
against-
they would do in the animated series of X-Men, where they would pit all the similar powered characters against each other. That's what we assume will happen. Although I have more like of a thought of strategy when it comes to that kind of thing, and I think Doom Patrol thinks a little more outside the box than what X-Men does with that.
True.
So we'll have some changes and variations, and I'll throw in as you guys go along. But please feel free, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have Mento, whatever his name is, versus Jean Grey.
The Fresh
That would
Maker,
make
right?
sense. Yes, the freshman.
Oh, boy.
With light, just some Mentos fresh and full of life. Sorry, go on.
Hey, remember the song, the music video "Big Me" by the Foo Fighters, which was all about Mentos? Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Brilliant video.
Sorry, Kevin.
By the way, has anybody here done the Diet Coke Mento thing?
No, I haven't.
Negative.
No, but I'm positive it works. Like I've seen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does too. I was thinking about maybe Kevin should dress as Black Licorice for us and do it in his garage driveway.
Ah, okay.
And just for our new viewers out there, we do regularly interrupt Kevin. We don't mean to. We just do.
I interrupt too. I'm guilty. And then I have like Iceman versus Robot Man.
Okay.
What else we have? Elastigirl versus Angel.
Poor Angel.
Okay.
And Negative Man versus Cyclops. And just the initial matchups.
Is there a reason you chose girl on girl action?
No. Wait, girl on girl action. Angel's not a girl. Angel's not a girl.
Versus girl action.
There is none.
Yeah.
Elastigirl?
Well, Elastigirl. If I put Elastigirl versus Jean Grey, then there would be. But I haven't done that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Let me see.
According to the X-Men cartoon, I guess.
They would never match up.
Yes.
Poor man's
Girl
Jean
versus
Grey. I'm sorry. Sammy said that. I believe Mento is poor man's Jean Grey, and I think you're correct with that. But honestly, if you think about it, Mento had to have a helmet in order to augment his powers. Professor Xavier had to have a helmet in order to augment his powers.
Yes.
I think they just gave the power to a different person, kind of split it up. So to me, it's so obvious that the X-Men stole from Doom Patrol that it's not even funny. But, you know, apparently the conversations that took place and stuff, they said that the X-Men idea was first. But that's somebody from Marvel saying that, so it's really hard.
Well,
but they beat them to the press.
These guys golf together too. These guys, DC and Marvel, that their offices were in New York at the time, so they would sometimes golf together. That's how the Fantastic Four idea kind of came about. Golfing with the DC.
Now, Donald, can you confirm that perhaps one of the members of this panel may have seen a Doom Patrol future season or episode that has not quite hit the airwaves?
Yes, I believe my roommate has seen it, and he says that season 2 does not let up on the weirdness, and it takes it in a really fun direction, and it's just as good, if not better, so far. The first 2 episodes into the Doom Patrol season 2 than season 1.
Okay.
So it looks like we're getting a lot of we're getting more of the little daughter, the ape girl, in her past and how she came about and stuff. We're getting more of Dr. Cauldron in his Calder, I think, in his love affair with the mother that created the ape-like child and how that took place. We're getting more of Robot Man in his relationship with Crazy Jane. We're getting more of Elastigirl kind of coming into her own. We're getting more of Negative Man learning to cope with the spirit and sharing the house that is his body. And so we're getting what I say season 2 is all about cohesiveness. I think it's about them really going to be coming together and working together more as a team now than ever before. So
I love the way they portray Elastigirl in that show, like making her like the old film star and everything like that is So good.
Yeah.
Elastigirl, of course, is played by April Bowlby, who's one of the best supporting characters on 2.5 Men. So I'm always happy to see her. She's very talented.
Sammy, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. She told me to shut my mouth.
Someone told you to shut your mouth?
I don't know. I think. If it's somebody else, Sammy, then disregard. No big deal.
Outstanding stuff. All right, Kevin. So which matchup do you want to put on the table first for us all to discuss?
Well, Sammy kind of brought up already. Let's go with Mento versus Marvel Girl or Jean Grey.
Right.
Okay.
Now, as we break down, we had talked earlier about Mento having these powers, but only with the helmet.
Yes.
I was doing a little research, and I found that he still has some powers without the helmet.
It's just amplified, right?
It's an amplifier, so it's like Professor Xavier. So I think he still has quite a bit of a grasp on his powers. But the helmet does help him kind of direct it properly, so to speak. I think the big issue is going to be with this character is that he has problems with paranoia and borderline schizophrenic. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guess who could exploit that to her advantage?
Exactly. So go ahead.
And that's exactly what happens. Jean Grey will exploit his personal demon, shall we say, to her advantage. And she can use a side blast to knock off that helmet and disable him. And that's exactly how I think it would go down. Well, yeah, I don't think this match will last but a few minutes, if that.
Right.
Well, the big thing with Jean Grey is she's not just a telepath; she's a telekinetic. So she can read control minds and also project, psionic energy to do her bidding.
Oh yeah, she could easily just pick him up and like drop him off a roof or like drop a car on him. If she needed to take care of business and get him out of the way, I think she could easily do it. She could knock the helmet off. She could incapacitate him, and then she could drop something on him. And Mento's done. He really didn't even get a chance to even think about what he was going to do, to be honest.
And then once he knocked his helmet off, he was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not here. What? Who's that?"
And then that's it. He's done.
I think it's important too. In the comic book universe, to quantify the powers Jean Grey has is
pre-Phoenix. This is pre-Phoenix, by the way.
Pre-Phoenix. Okay, but even still, even pre-Phoenix, like there's all that unlocked potential inside of her that she already has already. I mean, just to quantify her real powers is just. It's a little frightening, and I'm not going to make the case here today, but Jean Grey against those 5 members of the Doom Patrol all by herself, that would be a great fight because she literally has that kind of power. She
has a lot of power, but let's not underestimate the Doom Patrol. I think that
they're savvy.
I think they haven't been written well a lot of the times, and I think people more accentuate their weirdness more so than their powers, the capability. So I think if we saw the raw potential of the Doom Patrol, I think we would have more of a challenge than you actually think.
Well, I agree with you, and I think pre-Dark Phoenix especially, Jean Grey still lacks a certain amount of discipline. She still lacks a certain amount of understanding of her powers, which obviously would put her in a very dangerous position.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want, I can summon her real quick to ask her a question. Just hang on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Jean. No, she's not answering. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, we tried. We really did. Thank you for that.
So we're giving it to Jean Grey, Marvel Girl.
Marvel Girl.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We're gonna give that one to Marvel Girl.
Grey, no doubt.
Next match.
Next matchup I have is Robot Man versus Iceman.
Ooh. That's a tough one, right?
Cliff Steele, a little bit. Cliff Steele, one thing that he has going for him in his favor is that with his robot powers, he can self-repair.
Right.
And that could be interesting, while Iceman can use his ice powers, or his freezing ability to kind of freeze the electronics. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Iceman at the end of the day could win out. If he can just freeze the electronics right before as he's self-repairing, just kind of freeze them in motion, and then really freeze them up, but then Cyclops would come in and just blow them up right after that.
Okay, so here would be my question. So Iceman, obviously, his power is the control, being able to control ice. It's his primary power. And cold, yeah. My thing with Iceman is I would question severely just beyond that, like, what kind of a damage could he actually take? Because I think we're forgetting with Robot Man here. We're talking about a person who has the shape-shifting ability. You know, the self-repair, like you said. He can fly. He can go underwater. Greatly enhanced senses. The ability to recharge via consumption of organic material. Like, it sounds like your worst nightmare. Like, Iceman would literally have to isolate him in an area that he absolutely could not escape under any circumstance, and then it could take him forever to figure out a way to deconstruct Robot Man.
Yeah, and I got two things. I got two things. So one, and this is all in Robot Man's favor.
Yeah.
So Iceman at this point is a boy. He was the youngest on the team.
Right. He's not a mega level mutant yet. That's
and
true.
He's not a mega level mutant, so his power level's not there. What you have that I think gives Robot Man the edge, possibly, is you have a boy fighting a man. Now it's
experience.
The experience and the grit and the violence in some respects. You know, you have this guy
going against a former race car driver.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a competitive grown man versus a new kid who's just kind of taking on this mutant power.
Exactly. You're dealing with somebody
that's a valid point.
That's used to moving at a breakneck speed, but their robot body also has to have that ability as well. So his brain's going 90 miles an hour. As long as his robot body can keep up, we're good. Now, if we're dealing with the television version of Robot Man, not so much. But since we're dealing with a comic book version of Robot Man, I believe he has the capability to take down Iceman with relative ease, to be honest. I think Iceman won't quite know what to do with him. He'll just keep trying to freeze him. And as you all said, being as inexperienced as he is, I think it's a 1-2, and I think Robot Man takes this round.
Robot Man will just basically, okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
So we've got Jean Grey taking round 1 for the X-Men with against Mento, and we all agree Robot Man taking Iceman down in round 2.
Round 2, all right.
But CW Canadian Robot Man, no chance in hell.
No.
Got it. Okay.
Just making sure.
No fucking way, man. No.
All right. Round 3 will be Beast Hank McCoy versus Beast Boy Garfield Logan.
This is a good one, guys. Now, I just professed my absolute love
for Hank.
For who, Kevin?
Mr. Hank McCoy. Also, Kelsey Grammer.
Hank McCoy. Right. I love Hank McCoy. I love Beast. But Beast Boy is almost to Swamp Thing. That Swamp Thing is to like plants. Beast Boy is to animals. I feel like Beast Boy has an almost elemental power about him. So taking him down is going to be very, very tough. But I'm willing to hear this out. So go ahead. If it's going to go the way I think it's going to go.
Okay, so the way you kind of have to look at this is Beast Boy has a werewolf physiology, and you have to ask yourself personally, how much stock do you put into the werewolf physiology? That's my kind of thing. His shape-shifting abilities, of course, you don't want to mess with that. But I assume his strength is massive, by comparison to Beast. Beast's agility is the way to go. And Beast obviously is a super genius.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, this is a tough call for me. I need some more convincing because I'm in draw territory right now.
Kevin, Jared, hit us, you guys. Let's see what we can do.
You want to go first, Kevin? I mean, I definitely got something, but...
you go first, Jared.
Well, I would say definitely I'm going Beast because it's the flip side. So, whereas Iceman was the novice before...
I was going to say the same thing.
Beast Boy's the novice in this one, and he by even further. He was like 13, 14 or something, right?
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. So, it's a man versus boy in a way.
And not only, even different, even more in the Beast's favor. So you have Beast Boy, who his power is immense, and like I would agree with you, it is elemental. It's like he's the jungle. He's like whatever he wants. He's like everything. But at this point, he wasn't that experienced in his powers, and probably had to go from one to the next or whatever. He does have his ferocious side because he's a kid and he's got that stubbornness. But then you have Beast, who I think at that time was one of the oldest of the X-Men, highly intelligent, and not just the agility and the dexterity and all that. He had super strength, not to like a Hulk point, but he's definitely super strong.
He could put up a fight with Ben Grimm, definitely. He could.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I do think it's actually maybe more competitive than Iceman versus Robot Man.
Right.
Because you have, an angry little kid who can turn into any animal he wants is going to get violent, like biting, scratching, and all that.
Guys, can we pause for 1 second and everybody say hello to my mother and father?
Hi, Mother and Father McKinney.
Hello, McKinney's. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Mom. Maybe Dad's on too. I don't know, but we'll just say hi to both of you guys. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jared, I agree with you 100%. This would be the reverse. Hank is a brilliant mind, and also has super strength himself. But I think at the end of the day, after a very brutal fight, the young Beast Boy's neck would be broken by Hank.
Hey, real quick, I got a message here from Angela. Angela, I went to high school with Angela, so hi, Angie. Good to see you on here. She's saying hi to my mom and dad as well, so Mom, make sure you say hi back if you see that message. But it's good to see you on here, Angie. It's been a long time, sort of, in a way. I mean, I know we talk on Facebook and stuff, but, I guess to see me live like this, I don't get to see you, but you can see me, and I hope you're doing well. And I believe you're still in Oregon, if I recall, or Seattle. I'm not sure which. But
somewhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I haven't gone by that nickname in so long. She called me Don Juan. Yeah, that was the old hype nickname.
I called you that. I called you that once. I called you Don Juan McKinney once.
Yeah, you have. I get a lot of. What do I get a lot of now? DMAC 3.
DMAC 3 is a good one.
Yeah, I get DMAC 3 a lot now.
It's a rapper name. That's your rapper name.
Okay, it's Oregon Coast. She's in the Oregon Coast right now. And she says hi to everybody. So go ahead and go back to Angie.
Hi, Angela.
Hello, Angie.
We'll put you up on the screen.
So here's the thing, guys. What you were just discussing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Don.
That's okay.
Okay, so what you two guys were just discussing. So being that I've been home a lot lately and playing the Ultimate Fighting Championship on Xbox One, let me tell you, you do not want to underestimate power.
Of course not.
And I think with raw power, Beast Boy is something you're going to have to consider here, because there are multiple fight scenarios that can play out in this. And Beast Boy, with one swift shot, might end this fight, is all I'm going to say. I'm
you get the lucky shot in. I'm also going to throw in Darren, and I don't want to detract from Beast. He's a great character, and he has a lot of knowledge. But Beast Boy, a lot of people don't know, he has an actual tremendous healing factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can grow back potentially an arm. So if you think you have broken his neck, you may not have broken his neck. So while I agree that Beast won this round, I think Beast Boy's not out of the fight yet.
I agree.
I think he's off to the side and he's healing a little bit, and no one's the wiser. So let's say Beast takes the round, but Beast Boy is still in this. So let's set Beast Boy off to the side.
His little Beast Boy wounds.
Right.
I never think of Hank McCoy as someone with a great killer instinct. I just think so much more of his brain power.
Well, he can get pretty savage. I mean, he is a beast after all, but yes.
He is, but just my general... I haven't read every Beast story. The ones that I have read, though, his intellect tends to overwhelm everything. So, yeah, I like raw power. That's just me.
I agree. Right. I can see that point. Okay, who do we got?
Round 4, and this is a tragedy because I don't see how this is going to work out for a certain person. Elastigirl versus Angel, the original Angel. I think Elastigirl.
What's Angel's powers back then?
He was the high-flying angel. He could fly.
Yeah.
With wings.
If he was the Apocalypse version, that'd be one thing. But in this scenario, it's going to be a tragedy against Elastigirl.
Like,
it's a tragedy.
Maybe I remember as a kid thinking he looked cool, Angel, like when he was Angel, or at least in the original X-Men outfit. I don't know about those later ones, but
right.
What was the point of Angel? Like I guess he was like a character. He was interesting because he was like the rich guy who was trying to hide, his mutant power from society and had the hardest time because he's got these giant wings.
Sure. I guess just flight, and his money.
I think the best thing that ever happened to him was the Archangel.
Oh, of course.
Completely. Of course. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, turning him into a dark character really flipped the script on him and saved his character, actually, because he was born.
One increased his powers. They gave him like the metal wings and all that stuff, and like, yeah, they made him cool.
Yeah,
the 90s coloring.
In this scenario, the original 60s version is just it's not going to work out for the young man.
So basically, he tries to fly away or around her. She wraps herself around him and basically just crushes him to death, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I mean, but
it's a bad day for him.
Do you view Elastigirl as someone with tremendous strength?
I think it grows proportionally.
Yeah. Absolutely. She'd have just as much strength as Mr. Fantastic or Plastic Man. But real quick, guys, my great-nephew is watching right now. It's a family event, apparently. So, Braxton, good buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're behaving yourself. Your great uncle loves you, and you behave for your grandma. Okay?
If you behave, Uncle Donald's gonna send you $500 for your birthday.
He's like 5. He'll believe that.
That's CGC comic books.
That's right. And if we suffer from inflation next year, he'll make it $1,500.
There you go.
Hey, Braxton. Angie says hello as well. I'm going to put her little comment up here. It says, hey, Braxton, so you can see somebody else said hi to you, buddy. Okay. So, all right. So, she took out Angel pretty quick, right?
It was pretty bad for the poor guy.
Angel's done like dinner?
I mean, Angel's kind of disrespected, but I understand it.
So, Angel's dead.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Dead.
Rest in peace.
All right, so we have another death on our hands. We have Mento the Fresh Maker died, and now Angel's dead. So we had round 1 go to Jean Grey of the X-Men. Round 2 went to Robot Man of the Doom Patrol. Round 3 went to Beast, but Beast Boy is still alive and kicking, or healing. Mm-hmm. And then round 4 just went to Elastigirl of the Doom Patrol. So we're pretty even, with Doom Patrol having a slight advantage of Beast Boy kind of healing off to the side.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, so who's next?
Round 5, the final matchup, Negative Man versus Cyclops.
Now, this is a weird one, right?
It's a weird one.
Okay, so Jared, let me ask you, because you are a Negative Man scholar. Is it possible to kill Negative Man?
I think if the host body is incapacitated, like dead.
60 seconds. You get 60 seconds.
60. Yeah. So he gets 60 seconds to leave the body, the energy for him to leave the body.
Right.
If it doesn't return, it dies, I believe, or disperses.
The body, the host will die.
Oh, the host will die.
But it doesn't say anything where I've been looking around online. It doesn't say anything. People correct me if I'm wrong on here. But it doesn't say anything about that negative energy passing on. It just remains outside the body. So it could eventually fizzle out, but we don't really know. I don't know if they've ever covered that. If they have, I couldn't find it or I didn't see it. So if somebody finds it and wants to correct us on that, that's great. But we can go with that idea for now. I'm just going to have a little bit to throw in a little bit, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
So my big issue with Cyclops is he seems, aside from a tremendously awesome power, he is quite mortal in his body. He doesn't really strike me as somebody who's necessarily like has a super strength or anything of that nature. And
that's true, but he is a tactician.
But no, I agree. But the thing is, when you're dealing, with his enemy can actually create explosions instantly. Now, they're minor explosions, but a minor explosion might be considered a grenade, and a grenade could kill a mere mortal like Cyclops.
Right. If Cyclops can catch on,
nothing to mess with either.
If Cyclops can catch on to the fact that his body's vulnerable when that creature's outside of it, all it takes is one firm optic blast to incapacitate that body. Now, that doesn't necessarily incapacitate the spirit.
Right.
But Jared, I think you were leaning towards something, were you?
Well, just like if the physical body, Larry Traynor, I think is the guy, if he's dead, then the energy has nowhere to go, because I don't believe it can just possess somebody else.
And I have a plan for that.
Right.
And then that you mentioned that.
Cyclops
would incinerate. Once he figures it out, he would take out the body. But yes, the soul would be wandering around, and then that's where we get to the final part of our battle.
Right.
So the body's gone. Negative Man, his body's been taken out, but he's still in it himself.
I agree. I think that we can say that Cyclops takes the round again, but that character from Doom Patrol's not out. Just half of them. Larry's out, but the Negative Man, negative energy there is still alive and kicking and very well intact. We might even call this one a draw, to be honest, because I
kind of might call this a draw.
Right. Yeah. Right. So let's call this one a draw.
We'll call it a draw.
Okay.
Call it a draw.
So we have a 2-2. We have a 2-2, a draw, and we have a victory with Beast Boy still off to the side, healing. So we go to the next round. Who do we have, gentlemen?
Let's see. Who's still alive at this point? Jean Grey is still in it. Cyclops is still in it. And Beast is still in it. But, as you stated, Robot Man's still in it too. Robot Man's still in it. Beast Boy is healing, and then the negative energy of Negative Man is wandering around.
Right.
Now, is the conscious?
Is what?
Is Negative Man's body dead, or is it unconscious?
It's dead. It's gone.
Kevin says it's incinerated, so it is definitely gone, and Negative Man is just out.
Okay.
And he's pissed.
He's pissed.
Because he's so negative to begin with, but now he's really, really pissed.
I think if we threw, I think, honestly, it's strange, but I think Negative Man is the most intuitive of the Doom Patrol characters.
Right.
I think having been inside of a human body, from a third-person perspective or from an alternate perspective of how a human body operates and reacts and things, he's shared in these emotions, but he also has his own thoughts and feelings. So I think he's going to see Jean Grey as the #1 threat, but he's also going to want revenge against Cyclops for killing him. So he could go either way. And where do you think he's going to head, Jarrett?
Well, actually, what you just said, I'm going to go with the revenge.
Okay.
So check this out. So I'm kind of reading up, doing a little side reading here with him. So his powers. So yeah, that is true. If the energy is outside of the body for 60 seconds, Larry Trainer, that guy, the human host, dies. So regardless, either way, he's dead. Does not say anything about the energy. Now, the energy form can do something really cool that I didn't know. It has an energy absorption power. Now, check this out. Negative Man can absorb thermal energy and convert it into into an explosive discharge tied to his other thermal abilities. So what I'm seeing as this energy is flying around, he's waiting for Cyclops to do a big blast at somebody or something.
Yep.
Shoots in there, absorbs it, and either sacrifices himself in one big explosion to kill himself and Cyclops, or perhaps just kill Cyclops.
Yeah,
I go with the sacrifice.
I don't think he's going to sacrifice.
Knock them both out.
I think he sees this whole team as an enemy now, and he wants revenge. But I don't think. I think he knows what a measured attack is enough to know that he can still take Cyclops easily by absorbing that energy and expelling it, but not exploding himself in the process. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt of having the sensibility to do that. So I say, in my opinion, he takes Cyclops out quite easily after absorbing his blast, and he's still on the table.
Okay.
Does everybody agree with that, or Kevin, do you want to?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I think the explosion argument is a solid one. I made something somewhat similar to it. Yeah, so I'll agree with that, sure.
Okay, so we have Negative Man taking out Cyclops, and now he's still in play, so Doom Patrol's up 1 in this round. Who do we have next?
Let's see. Who's still alive on the X-Men at this point? It's just Jean Grey and Beast.
Okay, Kevin, we got to talk about this. A very angry Jean Grey because somebody messed with Cyclops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone killed love of her life. So now you know what's about to go down.
Yeah.
And also, now that they're seeing that their team members are getting killed, I think the killer instinct kicks in of like, all right, it's us against the world. Like, it's fight or die kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And this is where I feel Jean Grey can somehow pull that negative energy of Negative Man and put him into the astral plane somehow. This is just my opinion. I think there's a way she can do that and trap him there.
I think she's going to...
Just like the Shadow King.
She's going to do something along those lines to be able to rid the fight of Negative Man. I think she's going to see him as the #1 threat. Of course, Negative Man having taken revenge for the loss of Larry. Jean's going to take revenge for the loss of Scott. So we're going to lose Negative Man right away. He's done. Right. He's just been, boom, negative. He's gone. He's gone out of the ether. He's out of here. So Negative Man's gone. Now, Robot Man, at the time, I believe he's just beating that holy hell out of Beast. I think he's just knocking him around like nobody's business. And are you guys in agreement on this type of fight, or do we have something else going?
Sure. And meanwhile, what's Elastigirl doing during that time? She's got it hanging around too.
I think Elastigirl, since everybody else is gone, she's probably seen her time to shine with Jean, as far as getting.
So once Jean takes out Negative Man, she just jumps on Jean right away.
She's gonna blob herself, I think, and liquefy, and kind of roll over shit, and then come up behind her and cover her, like encase her.
Right, try and suffocate her.
Right, try to suffocate her out and get rid of her psychic powers that she can't project through her.
But this is where Jean's telepathy could come into play.
Oh,
get into her head.
Right. Well, what I see is her being smart enough to throw some telephone poles and whatever she can at Robot Man to kind of crack him.
Mm-hmm.
Just far enough that Beast can get his claws into that metal and tear him open and take him apart, piece by piece. I think Beast is feral at this point. Like,
he's angry. He's
right.
heated. His
taking
brothers and sisters are brothers getting killed.
Everybody taken out. He's going for cold-hearted revenge. He's in this. He's tearing him apart. And I think Jean's struggling, but she's trying to help him. She helps him enough to be able to succeed in that. And I think Robot Man is off the table. But if anybody else has an argument against that, please let me know.
I think Robot Man is really complicated and difficult to defeat here. Now, I feel like Jean Grey and Elastigirl, in my head, with Jean's telepathy alone, she could take Elastigirl inside and out. Like, I mean, I think she'd tear her to pieces. But that's just my feeling on it. But Robot Man, to me, Robot Man, he's so difficult because you tear him apart, he comes back together. He has unbelievable skill sets. I honestly, if you took Jean's telepathy abilities off the table, Robot Man would make mincemeat out of the rest of the X-Men, in my view. I just think Robot Man is ferocious.
Okay, so do you see Robot Man then taking on Beast as far as that fight's concerned?
I absolutely do. I see him taking him out because Beast to me is still, I think it's way easier to kill Beast than it is to dismantle Robot Man in every conceivable way. Because he himself, if you can isolate him, you still have all this problem solving you have to get in your head to figure out how to permanently destroy him. I think he's a difficult character for me to defeat.
But what if Beast observed part of the fight with Iceman and learned some things for when it was time to fight him?
Oh, I don't want to underestimate his intelligence, not by a long shot. But I mean, the fact of the matter is as you know, I'll pull back up my list of powers here. I mean, this guy's unbelievable to me. I mean, just everything he can do is I don't know. It's just kind of like I use something that's easy for people to understand. The T-1000 in Terminator 2, that was clever how they killed him. But otherwise, all he does is fall apart and come back together. How do you defeat somebody like that?
Right.
Well, another thing we're not taking into consideration is if you know the early Doom Patrol history, Mento and Elastigirl were a couple, right? And
right.
And Gar Logan, Beast Boy, was their adoptive son.
Adoptive son, right?
So you're also dealing with Elastigirl, I know we were talking about Robot Man, but we also have Elastigirl's not only hey, I won this fight. Well, she's like, my husband got killed and my son, for all intents and purposes, is lying in a pool of blood. Right. Which can go either way. She's either going to avenge him or she's actually going to be tending to him while the others are fighting.
I mean, think about this,
Kevin. I'm not sure. I'm Darren and Jared might be swaying me in the opposite direction because while I would love Beast's scientific brain to be able to take these guys apart, I think it's pretty hard when they just keep coming at him. And also,
now, if Beast is double team, of course he's done.
Right, which is what's going to happen because we still have Beast Boy.
Right. So you're saying Beast Boy has recovered at this point?
At this point, he's most likely recovered, and either he's going to help Elastigirl defeat Jean, or he's going to help Robot Man defeat Beast. And I think that if we want to be fair to the story that we've created here, he's going to go after Jean and help Elastigirl. So then all that's left, technically, I think Beast is going to get away from Robot Man with his agility and his smarts. He's going to be able to... He won't win, maybe, against Robot Man, but he'll be smart enough to get away from that fight.
Okay.
He'll go to try to aid Jean. And when he does, I think it's going to be round 2 of Beast versus Beast Boy.
Again. Okay.
And we're going to see, and again, and you're right, you're absolutely right, Jarrett, with that family dynamic, we might see more of a revenge fight than we thought. And particularly, he's going to be, I think Beast is going to be going to aid with Elastigirl, Beast Boy. So we're going to have him trying to free her. Beast is going to get away from the fight, and then he's going to go over to try to help her. So we're going to have this big kind of cluster, and then Robot Man's just going to come over, and what's he going to do then at that point? So we have a 3-on-2.
3-on-2.
We have a completely smothered, incapacitated Jean Grey that's fighting her best way out of Elastigirl, which I think she will.
Right.
But the moment she does, she's got either Robot Man or Beast Boy to deal with. I think.
Well, I got a pretty messed up way to go with part of this, and it might take out a couple people, but you guys let me know.
Okay.
So as Jean Grey, so kind of forget Robot Man and Beast for a second. So as Jean Grey is getting smothered, she lashes out and goes into the mind of Elastigirl and tries to find like a weakness. She then goes into Gar's brain, Beast Boy, and says, "Your mom is your enemy. That's not your mom. That is your enemy."
Ah, right. There we go.
So Beast Boy starts attacking his mom, Elastigirl, right?
There we go.
Which keeps
her preoccupied.
Which forces Elastigirl to have to deal with him. Beast Boy is relentless, like so relentless. He's trying to kill her. Like he's not going to stop. So Elastigirl is forced to kill her own son.
Wow, that's crazy.
But this sets her off, and Jean Grey, I don't know if Jean Grey is going to have a chance now, is what I'm saying.
That's a fascinating point, and something I wanted to add here, also in defense of Robot Man, we have to ask ourselves a serious question. What is the terrain of this battle? Because, remember, he can travel underwater, Robot Man. He can fly.
Yeah. I'm thinking city streets, guys. I'm thinking like in the middle of downtown Manhattan or something like that.
Okay, and he can also absorb any organic material, which would mean he has an endless supply of things to recharge himself. Is it possible, though, that he gets a few good punches in, knocks Beast silly, and just flies above the cloud line and drops him? I mean, these are things you really got to think about, like, because I mean,
with Beast intellect, can't Beast somehow figure out in time like exactly the source of Robot Man and just pull out?
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go against Jared. I'm going to go against the fact that she has to kill her own son. I don't think she's going to be willing to do that. I think she'd rather sacrifice herself before she'd do something like that. And in which case she would be gone, and Beast Boy would snap out of it. In fact, there's probably certain animals that are much more easy to manipulate than others. And if Beast Boy can transform into something that's less vulnerable to manipulation, he could do that.
Right.
In which case, I'm not sure. He can turn into pretty much any animal or just particular animals?
I think any animal.
So if he can turn to any animal, can he turn into a microbe? Something like a... I don't know if they one-cell organism.
Well, microbe's not an animal.
Well, a one-cell organism, let's say that.
Okay.
I don't think he can go that. I think it's all got to be...
Okay.
Maybe a mouse, something like that. Or
I believe any mammal, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little mouse.
All right.
Hamster.
So here's my thought on this. And let's be a little creative with this. So Beast Boy is not in the fight still. We don't know where Beast Boy's at. We have Robot Man, and we have Elastigirl, and we have Jean Grey, and we have Beast. So Beast and Robot Man, Beast gets away, he goes to try to help Jean, right? He pries Elastigirl away. Now Elastigirl, she's going to be hard to manipulate with her brain because she can change the dynamic of her brain, the way it operates. if you're constantly moving around your brain and as well as the rest of your body, it would be pretty hard, I think, for mind control in that instance. So I don't think Jean's got a chance with Elastigirl to try to take her out in that realm of speaking. So she's not going to be able to convince her.
Telekinetic blast? You don't think that can work?
Could she convince Robot Man? Well, all Robot Man has left is his brain. So if she can convince him to come after Elastigirl, that's where that could be trouble. Now, Jarrett, if you really want to take somebody out, like have where Elastigirl has to kill her own son,
Right.
let's try this route and see if you like it. So we get Robot Man in there, and we get Jean starting to manipulate him. He comes after Elastigirl, and what, unknowns to us, Beast Boy is already there in the fight. He's just inside Robot Man, as a mouse, in his body. And as he starts to see Robot Man turn towards his mom, he tries to stop him, and will do one of two things. He will expand his body fast and strong enough to be able to explode out through Robot Man, therefore incapacitating Robot Man for a moment. Or he will climb up into the brain as the mouse and start chewing it away to basically stop Robot Man. Now, I feel that you probably would like that idea better. But a smarter hero that Beast Boy could do in more to the point and quick, as far as expanding out to turn into an elephant of sorts, let's say. He would explode out through the body. Now, Darren, you're saying Robot Man has self-repair? Is that correct?
Yeah, any organic material he consumes gives him energy, and he can self-repair, yes.
Okay, so if he's going to be able to self-repair, as soon as he explodes, he's not out of the picture. He's just in pieces everywhere. So that's going to take a minute or two. It's going to take a hot minute. So we have a just exploded out Beast Boy. We have an Elastigirl. We have a Jean Grey. And we have a Beast. Now, having seen everything that Jean is doing, I think Elastigirl is going to slip into her ear and just expand out and explode her cranium and kill her. I think she's done. I think Elastigirl.
Even though Jean won't see it coming, and Jean won't see it coming.
Even if she does, she can't stop her.
I mean, she is kind of inundated with a lot of weird stuff, and this is Marvel Girl Jean Grey. This isn't like Phoenix Jean Grey.
Right. So I think Elastigirl's going to take Jean Grey out. I'm sorry, Sammy, but I think Jean Grey, as much as we wanted her to be the final victor, I don't think that's going to happen in this case. I think.
By the way, I just got to say, just a quick pause.
Sure. We
all kind of went over this. This is for the audience. We all kind of went over this. This is not anywhere near where we went with it. So this is really cool that this battle is organically.
Right.
And that's what's cool, because we like to adjust on the fly when we have different thoughts in our mind. Like, wait a second, you know what? What about this?
Yeah, I like this. The fact that we can just go with the flow and kind of listen to each other's thoughts and stuff. So I think what that leaves us left with is Elastigirl and Beast Boy versus Beast. At this point, I'm going to say Beast is either so feral that he's lost all capacity for thought, or all he's thinking is thought and how to get the hell out of there and go back and get Xavier and regroup and try to do something else. So we could go one of two ways in that. Is he going to attack, or is he going to try to escape?
Well, being the brilliant man that Hank is, I think he realizes you got to know when to hold them.
Oh, God.
Know when to fold them. Know when
God
to
rest his soul.
away. Know when to run.
Nobody loved his roasters more than Kramer. So
I mean, think about it logically. If I'm with four of my teammates, I see all four of them get killed, and I see there's two people left, and it didn't work out. When I know my power set doesn't match up.
Okay.
I think it's time to leave.
This is not a fan favorite, guys. We're losing viewers here. Sammy says you are dead to me, and Maria says boo. So we're not winning any friends with this thought of killing Jean Grey. But I think it's.
I don't like it either, but I've been overruled.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know, man. Jean Grey doesn't lose fights. That's my feeling.
I'm gonna propose an ending. And we can adapt it, change it, do whatever the hell we want. But this is my movie. You got me, Darren, thinking James Cameron. It's my James Cameron ending. A little bit of Michael Bay ending of our fight. So Beast does know when to fold him. He also has seen his whole team, all his friends in his life, brutally murdered in front of him. Mm-hmm. So it's not just his instinct, it's his intelligence mixed with his survival, his gut. It's survival right now. So Beast calls in the Blackbird, their jet, mm-hmm. to go on a kamikaze just straight at Elastigirl, and Beast Boy he just drops a plane pretty much out of the sky, a fuel jet, onto a little kid and his mom, and blows them up. They're dead. Beast is sitting there. It's fire everywhere. The city is destroyed. It's like every superhero battle you've ever seen. And he's sitting there. His fur is singed. He's like, his glasses are cracked. He's just like, he's bleeding. He's like, but I did it. I won. Like, I lost everything, but I did it. I won. And then, like the end of Terminator 1, when they think they've blown up Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-100, through the wreckage and the flames, Robot Man begins to reform himself. And not just reform himself from what he was, all like from the Quinjet, from the Blackbird.
He's got to have pieces of that Blackbird.
So you have King Kong Robot Man, who's just like,
he's pissed.
And then you just see Beast go, oh shit, step, squash, dead, goodbye.
Yep, I think either way we look at it, let's give him applause here. That was well thought out, Jarrett. So congratulations on that. I think either way you look at it, I like that ending. I think it shows
it's brutal.
Beast's thought process. I do also. I think. I don't want to say that I don't necessarily know that Elastigirl will disappear completely in that, or Beast Boy, because of his healing factor. It just depends on how destructive this kamikaze explosion is,
and what kind of chemicals could have been in that Blackbird that he used. Beast could have thought about that. Hey, I'm gonna put some special.
Our doomsday in case things hit the fan. I'll call this in and explode everything or something. But we got to keep in mind that Beast is somebody that believes in justice and he believes in peace, and he might not necessarily think about a giant explosion because he would know that it could potentially harm innocent civilians. So I think Beast might call that jet in as a final way to defeat them, because he thinks that if they can't be stopped, they might destroy the Earth. So I don't think there's going to be like an extra special chemical explosion or anything, but I think he can call that in and explode it. And I do like the fact that Robot Man rises out of the ashes with pieces of the Blackbird,
like T-800,
and able to defeat him.
T-1000.
So unfortunately, it looks like much to our actual initial thought process, and now to our dismay in a way, the Doom Patrol has actually taken the X-Men.
Yeah. Well, and remember, these the original teams going at it. So we haven't done. We know what we should revisit this team again, but just in different ways. So we can add the Wolverines, add the Storms, the Colossuses, the Cyborgs.
Guys, we've got trouble coming here.
What? Wait, Kevin. Who's Storm again? Storm is the mistress of what?
Wait, who says it best?
I said. Yeah,
who does the impersonation the best? Jared?
I'll give it a whirl. Storm, mistress of the elements, winds rise.
That works. So Maria says Sammy is going to become the next supervillain because of this injustice. And then Sammy responds with, I feel the Phoenix Force coming on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The next time around, when we have a rematch.
Well, yeah, there are ashes of Jean Grey there, and what does the Phoenix do? It rises
from the ashes. So guess what? We will revisit this matchup, but we'll add some other folks in. Like I said, we'll bring in Storm, Wolverine, Crazy Jane, Dorothy Spinner. We'll bring them all in. And even Jared's favorite, the ambush bug.
I'm going to go post a picture of the ultimate winner here. Robot Man. He is in the middle of our shot here, so everybody salute him. I
mean, honestly, everybody back at home, we all had the X-Men winning like yesterday.
Yep, we did.
Yeah, so.
You see what happens when you start deeply thinking about things, you realize, oh, shoot, maybe not.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I think that a lot of people don't understand or know the power set of the Doom Patrol and what they're capable of doing. They just know that they're this team of freaks and weirdos, and they have no idea. So when you start to think outside the box and you look at character strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, the X-Men are formidable. But unfortunately, they had too many weak links, like Angel and
especially this young version, especially this particular version, version, the originals.
They were taken out very quickly. Now, if Iceman had the ability to reconstitute himself, to like bring himself back together, that would be
later.
That would be a different story. But unfortunately, at this point, right, he's too weak in his power set to be able to do that.
If you had Archangel and Iceman now, it would be a much different story.
Yeah, absolutely. If we did a current incarnation of X-Men versus the current incarnation of Doom Patrol, we might definitely see a different story.
Wolverine against Robot Man alone. Actually, what about Logan versus Logan? Ooh,
I would put Beast Boy against Wolverine.
Against Wolverine, yeah, there we go. Logan versus Logan, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, you would definitely have a more feral fight, and both have a healing factor.
Gentlemen.
So I think it would all work out in the end there, so to speak. So
and then of course Crazy Jane versus Legion.
So real quick, I'm going to post the winner here. So give me 1 second for that.
Can you announce the winner in your best Howard Finkel voice?
Who?
Oh, the WWF announcer?
Yeah! And new world champion.
Wrestling Federation champion, you know?
Yeah, and the new Superhero SmackDown champion goes to the Doom Patrol!
God rest his soul. He recently passed away, too. God rest his soul.
The Fink, man. What would wrestling be without the Fink?
All right, but yeah, that's a great picture that I'm posting here, guys. If you can check it out later, it's definitely got some great.
Hey, Jared.
Here.
Yeah. Guess what I found from 3 years ago? I found the book of SmackDowns.
Oh wow!
So all the things that we wrote down, I even added some recently, but we got a ton of matchups we can go over for next time.
Yes.
And there will be a next time, ladies and gentlemen. Enrique says, "Rest in peace, the Fink."
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we have a comment from Good Cops TV. So Derek says, just say hey. Hey, Derek. Nice to see you. Enrique, also, thanks for tuning in, buddy. It's good
Thank you, Enrique.
Kind of see you. Well, at least you could see us anyway. So, we appreciate you tuning in. Hello. And thanks for checking us out. Anybody that's checking us out now, if you ever want to make a comment or have an alternative thought when we're doing these SmackDowns, feel free, chime in. If you say, oh, you're wrong on this, or, this power should be this way, or whatever, you feel free. I know that we get a couple comments instantly about Jean Grey should have won, but,
you have to understand the context.
Marvel Girl, people.
You have to understand the context.
But to be fair, the reason people tune into the Real Short Box, in my opinion, is that we can make the case against Jean Grey, because that's a simple answer. You could always say Jean Grey wins. You could make the argument that Superman always wins, but sometimes you got to look in between the hash marks, so to speak.
Yeah. One of our old pods, Superman didn't win, and one of our old SmackDowns.
Nope.
And honestly, too, any pre Phoenix Force Jean Grey was not even considered. Once the Phoenix Force happened, then everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, all right." She'll kill a whole planet of broccoli people.
Oh yeah, they didn't like broccoli people, especially with the little kid being held,
hiding with his broccoli mom. And
are we talking Veggie Tales right now?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Are we chopping broccoli? No.
Broccoli.
Yeah, there we go.
SmackDown. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to follow along. We unfortunately, I guess the Ask Me Anything portion of this was not taken advantage of the way that I thought it may be tonight.
Well, you know why? Because they were so ensnarled by our SmackDown talk, they couldn't help.
I think it's the storytelling aspect. People were more listening than commenting, and that's fine, too. I don't mind that at all, as long as they're enjoying what we're saying. Some are. But
we're sorry, Sammy. Next time, you'll get your glory.
Probably, if we do a future X-Men, it'll have a much stronger Jean Grey.
Stronger team.
Case, there's not many that's going to be able to take her out. I can tell you that. So.
And think about it. If you have Storm on your team, you're already formidable.
Hey guys, if we thought about doing a SmackDown of like the most weak-ass characters in the universes,
fighting tooth and nail.
Did we do one?
I don't know. I think we did. We did like, what was it? The Great Lake Avengers versus.
Oh, I did the Great Lakes Avengers versus the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we should do like a Jubilee versus someone weak. Some Jubilee versus some
versus Dazzler.
Character. Yeah, well, they're on the same team, kind of.
Yeah, but they fight over like their hair ties or some bullshit.
You know, that little fireworks.
Yeah.
Useless fireworks.
Yeah, I think one of them that we just rolled across that we actually were thinking about doing, and then we went with this one was, what was it? It was Ultra Force and
Excalibur, I think.
Yeah, Excalibur. Ultra Force versus Excalibur idea.
So now, Excalibur, you know, there's some powered people there. Excalibur, you have Rachel Summers, good lord.
Yeah.
Who has the Phoenix Force.
There's a lot of powerful people in that, but there's also a lot of powerful people in Ultra Force too.
Yeah,
Captain Britain.
There's a Professor Xavier type character in X Force that is on the team. Or actually, a Jean Grey or a Summers type character that could easily also, you know, they would just cancel each other out in a way, and then you'd be left with the rest of the teams.
Well, that battle has to take place like on another planet. I mean, they can blow up the whole planet. You got to go to some foreign planet.
I think maybe the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There's no dark side of the moon, really. As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
It's true. It is all dark. So the sun shines on it.
That's the end of. Hey, dude, that's at the end of the last track of the Dark Side of the Moon album. Now, I don't know if musician's a scientist, but hey, I'm just going to go with it because he says it in a British accent, which changes everything.
The Pink Floyd.
Makes it more important.
That's right, man. Yes, by dint of accent, you are superior.
And as we're wrapping this up, I'm going to be putting on my panda hat for no reason whatsoever.
Panda!
You like pandas?
Right.
Do you guys mind if I just kind of... I mean, it's right down here. It's my... I'm just going to whip it out. It's my giant-sized man thing.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
We did not need to see that, but I tell you what, it is glorious, buddy.
So yeah, that's
by the way, that makes up for a future matchup: Man Thing versus Swamp Thing.
I don't know.
I don't think that's much of a matchup, buddy.
I think Swamp Thing's the king of the months.
Have you guys thought of a SmackDown of Mortal Kombat characters?
That'd be good.
Versus Street Fighter characters.
Oh,
that would be good.
That's not a bad idea.
Except we all know Mortal Kombat characters kill. So.
And you know what? Anybody in the comments section that's viewing us right now that wants to text me or Facebook us or something and let us know what you want to see as far as future fights, let us know.
Chun-Li versus Kitana.
We'd be happy to put that in so you can check it out. And, you know, we'll go over it, dissect it, and talk about it, and then change our minds live. So
yeah.
The only
Baraka versus
good one.
Oh wow!
Scorpion versus Ryu.
My mom actually has a really good one, guys.
What's that?
The only reason I wanted to do it is so we could go round one, fight.
My mom said,
"You win."
How about doing a pod on sidekicks?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
How about Chuck Norris's dog from Top Dog? Just saying.
We could do the best and worst sidekicks.
Yeah.
Like who are the best and who are the worst?
Sidekicks, aren't there?
There's a lot. Well, we could do like Nightwing versus Bucky.
Ooh. Okay.
Winter Soldier.
Well, don't you mean Nightwing versus Winter Soldier? That might
I just said that.
I think you said Bucky. But
yeah.
Why not just go Winter
then I
Soldier?
corrected myself while you were trying to correct me. Thank you.
Or Speedy versus what's Hawkeye's daughter's name? Kate Bishop? Or
Maria, you like the idea of the sidekicks? Is that what you're saying? Or of the Mortal Kombat, or which one?
Street Fighter Mortal Kombat.
Probably my mother about sidekicks, I would imagine.
I got one for sidekicks. Conan sidekick and Conan the Destroyer versus Rob Schneider and Judge Dredd.
No. Rob Schneider in Demolition Man versus Rob Schneider in Judge Dredd.
Was he in both?
Yeah.
Was he the comic relief in both of those movies?
Yes.
I'm going to use the
the comic relief
food recycler.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So both Maria and my mother say the sidekicks idea sounds pretty good. So that's already 2 votes for that one. And Enrique chimed in on that as well. So Enrique's down for the sidekicks. It looks like, guys, we're going to be doing sidekicks next.
We must give the people what they want.
It's true.
Which is Kevin without a shirt.
What did we talk about last week, gentlemen?
What did we talk about last week?
Yeah.
Just ask me anything.
It was our casting, right?
I have casting.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight casting.
We did a casting.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
How about for next week, everybody? What say we do a casting and then the week after we do another fight, or do you all want to see a fight next week and then a casting the following week, or maybe just we'll keep fighting? You guys let us know in the comments section, and we'll figure it out. Doesn't have to be right now, but whatever you comment, we'll definitely take it into consideration. Absolutely. Positively. But guys, I think we're at an end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're at the 9 o'clock or midnight Eastern Standard Time hour.
The witching hour.
The witching hour.
Yeah. So the Eastern witching hour. So thank you guys for tuning in to us. We very much appreciate it. I know it takes some time out of your day.
And next Monday's Memorial Day.
But it gets us together. We're bored. We're lonely. We're lonely men, and we like to hang.
Speak for yourself.
Well, almost like a 3 out of 4 of you. That's not true.
Oh, what a lonely boy. Yep.
Wait, are you saying you're the lonely one, Kevin?
Technically.
Oh, that's so sad.
Look, you have a me. You have your roommate.
Why don't you buy a pet dog, like a beagle?
Oh, that's true. I should.
Donald, he's got great streaming options, great ability to cook, and he's bored. Don't feel sad, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's right.
That's true.
True.
That's true.
So my mother says good night. Good night, Mom.
Good night, Miss McKinney.
All right, and Enrique says no, thank you. So he doesn't say no, thank you. He's saying no, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Enrique.
Thank you more.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it.
Build the smartest audience.
Thank you, Janet.
Guys, we've got some new. Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maria, Janet, Angie, Derek, and
Derek.
And Derek. Yeah,
he was on earlier. Thank you.
And Sammy as well. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We also, anybody that's on and just didn't comment, my sister for one, so thank you, Stephanie. And my great nephew, Braxton. Thank you, Braxton, if you're seeing this. Right. But guys, we're on a ton of podcast platforms, and it just keeps growing. I don't know. I know Darren was pretty impressed and proud of the iHeartRadio being on.
Very impressed. We are on iHeartRadio with some of the most popular radio shows in the world, with a vast variety. We're talking everything from talk radio to music to, God knows what else. It's great. It's a great one we just got put on. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we're on, Sprecher. We're on Stitcher now, which is pretty new to us. We are on, what else are we on? Blueberry?
That's good stuff, man.
What?
There's emojis popping up. We got smiley faces, thumbs up.
Emojis flying at us.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not seeing that, but that's great.
Nice.
Go figure.
We're on iTunes, right? We're on YouTube. Go check us out. You can see the recorded and the old shows on YouTube.
Right.
Especially the old ones.
I think that's where they're checking us right now is YouTube. So definitely keep coming back to YouTube, where we're going to be doing our live podcast for a while. We might actually at one point do a special Facebook Live one as well from our podcast Rumbles or our Real Short Box page on Facebook. We're going to try that and tease with that a little bit. Try that at some point. Bunch of new platforms. I can't remember all of them, to be honest. Spotify, Blueberry, Sprecher, Stitcher. What's that? SoundCloud. That's a relatively new one. And then we just got on another 2 or 3 just last week. So I'll be posting those as those are happening. It's been a good month for us, actually, for getting on new platforms and stuff. So thank you for sticking with us. We'll be continuing to grow our platform reach as we move along. So with that, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching us. And if we don't see you on here, maybe someday when all this nonsense ends, we will see you.
I was hoping you'd get the Thug Life sound effect first.
Oh, I could do that. You mean the DJ air horn, right?
Yeah. At the comic shop.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
All right.
Are we off the air?
You are.
Come on.
Nope, still on the air.
Hey, we're off the air now.